Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Paranormal Coffee Talk. I'm Crystal. That's Carol. She's not feeling too great. She's a little under the weather tonight. So I'm introducing her so that she doesn't croak in the middle of talking. She's been trying to recover this week, but here we are. And she's if you just see her dip out, just ignore it. She's fine. We do have someone on her side of the world that will make sure that she comes back to life, and we're not hunting her. So it has been another busy week for us already, with it being a Monday, and we have already decided that we're ready for the week to be over. It's been nonstop. We have a lot to get ready for. We added another, not really an event, but we will talk about that a little more later. But we do still have some tickets available for let's see what we have. We have some tickets available for the St. John's Theater, and that's going to be September 21st in Reserve, Louisiana. We will have Misty Gaither from Quest and True Crime Podcast. Then our friends in Louisiana Spirits. We'll have multiple different people from different chapters throughout Louisiana there. So make sure you grab your tickets. I think we're at 6 tickets left. So get your tickets and come on out and let's investigate this amazing theater. And then we have Haunted Rock Island Roadhouse Paracon, October the 5th. We're going to be in Rock Island for, I know, I was about to say Paragold. That one's over with. Scratch that.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. And so October 5th, we will be in Rock Island. And we get to see all of our friends. Sarah's going to be there. Michelle's going to be there. Josh Purvis is going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be great. And then we have 2 dates available in October for the Blakely State Park Battlefield and Old Town site. So make sure you grab those tickets. Those are selling fast. We started out with 100 each, and I think both of them are in the 30-ish tickets left. So make sure you grab those tickets. We will have the Pride Moors will be there assisting us and volunteering. Sean Daniel will be there. Mobile Area Paranormal Society will be there helping us out again. So make sure to grab your tickets and let's have a great time out on the battlefield. And then we have Cajun Country Paracon, April 12th of 2025. We will be having a REM pod building workshop. So that along with Ghost Hunting on a Budget. So make sure you get your tickets because, again, very few of those are left. I believe there's maybe 4 or 5 of the REM pod workshop tickets left. So you get to learn how to build a handheld REM pod. Not really a handheld, but it's a really small REM pod. And it's this one right here. Scene is $50 per person, and you get to take the REM pod home with you, along with any equipment that you use. So you'll get your soldering iron as well to take home with you, and you get to learn about the different equipment that we use and how to start paranormal investigations on a budget. So that is our event lineup. Tonight we have we met our guest tonight in Ozark, my hometown, Ozark, Alabama. She was our neighbor, but she was on the other side of the line. So if you just imagine like the Hatfield and McCoy, that's kind of like where we were. She was right across from us. And we were so excited that she decided to become our friend. And she is our favorite zombie. We have seen her. We saw her in February up in Jasper, Georgia. She came and had lunch with us, and it's just been a great time. So I'm going to go ahead and play her intro video, and we're going to bring her on.
going? Thanks for having me on.
Our favorite zombie is here.
Oh.
We love our zombie. It has been I mean, it's already been a year. Can you believe that? It's been a
I know.
year.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, my gosh, it's been a whole year this month. And
It is
time has just flown by.
I know, and it's, man, it has been a busy year. You've been going and traveling and seeing the countryside and just having a good time.
Yep.
So,
we went to Europe in December, so
yeah,
cool stuff.
Pictures.
yeah, definitely. It has been a busy year for sure.
It really has. And I mean, honestly, just a month ago, I was like, man, it's going to be a whole year since, I was down in Ozark. And it feels like it was literally just maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
I know.
It
I mean, it just feels like it was like a couple weeks ago when we were eating lunch in Jasper.
True. True. That was so much fun. I was
glad.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And I think we just need to go up there and have just spend the weekend up there. Because I feel like we didn't get to see everything we really wanted to see. And I feel like we just need to do that. We need to get up there and plan a weekend in Jasper and investigate the cabin and the jail again. So, because we can sleep inside. We can sleep inside the interior part where the kitchen and the inside of the jail, the living quarters. So, yeah, we'll have to plan that. That'll be fun.
Well, there's that hotel across the street, with that loud bridge too.
Oh, I know that bridge. My goodness.
I wanted to burn it down so bad.
I was like, one more time.
I mean, it was loud.
I know. It's just like, I felt like, what it felt like was, when you're going up the wooden roller coasters at Six Flags and you're like,
the scream machine.
Yes, that's what I felt like. That's what I felt like. I was like,
you could hear on the recordings was bridge. Yeah,
you could hear us every time we were trying to do an EVP. We're like, we're doing a voice recorder session. And first couple times we're like, did y'all hear that? And then we finally started just saying, oh, that's the bridge. Mark it. It's the bridge. Ignore it. It's the bridge.
Yep. Well, the girls, they look like they got a good orb that came right at her. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching that.
Really, the cabin is where it was at. And I know even before we, started investigating before you left, there was something about that cabin that just, it sucked us in. There was something there. And I mean, I investigated inside the jail a small amount, but I stayed in the cabin most of the night. Yeah. From the time I walked in there until the time I left, it was constantly calling my name and reaching out to me and wanting to talk with me. It felt like it needed to protect me for some reason. And we still don't understand as why she felt that she needed to protect me. Anybody that knows me, I'm very loud and I can definitely take care of my own. So,
Yeah, but we were feeling stuff in that one room, that female presence or something in that front room, and you kept coming up with that name Daisy or something, but that's where I kept feeling things was in that front room of the jail. And I didn't get to go into the cabin, but remember I had a fascination with it when we were on the outside of it as well. But maybe there was something in the jail that, she was trying to keep you from. And that's the reason she was trying to keep you out in the cabin. So
that's very good. That's a very good point. It's a very valid point because I didn't. Carol and the guys, Southern Heat from the Bleckley jail down in Georgia, they came up with us and investigated. And so them and Carol, Matt and Mike and Carol stayed in the jail while the girls and I stayed over in the cabin majority of the night. And something about that cabin, I don't know if maybe it was, my dark hair, if, I don't know, but something definitely wanted me to stay there. So I did.
Well, see, didn't you say you had some Native American in you?
I do. I have Native American and I have Hispanic in me as well. So I have those very dark genes in me.
Yeah.
And I also have the Scottish side as well. So I have the Highlander side. And a lot of that area was, the Highlands, the Scots, the Irish
Yes.
as well. So, there's no telling really what guide was trying to protect me or whether it was the spirit from the jail trying to protect me. But I know that the spirit that was there in the cabin definitely, she was very protective of me, very
Yeah.
protective. So it
Or
was
obsessed with you one. I don't know.
maybe, but it wasn't that. It was, and that's what I was like. I ain't the first time a spirit's been obsessed with me. But usually they like to grope my hair or stroke my face or something. But
Mhm.
this one, she was definitely she was younger, and she felt like I was maybe a sister to her or something at
I
one
was thinking
point,
even a mother.
maybe even a mother. And at one point we were like playing this hide and seek game from the guys. They had just pulled up, and I went to run into the cabin, and when I did, the door slung open and then it slung closed behind me. And
Oh,
multiple
wow.
times, when Yvette and Sierra were sitting at the table, I had gotten very, very emotional. I said, I just need to excuse myself. So, I mean, it's like 20 degrees out there on the mountains. And I went out in front of the cabin, and the Yvette and Sierra had asked a question and said, well, do you want Crystal or something like that to come back? And then the door slung open, and they thought it was me. And I'm like, no, I'm on the other side.
Wow, that's
Speaking
cool.
of,
There
there
they
they
are. Hey, girls.
Hey, hey,
there
hey.
they are. But yeah, it was a very, very great time in Jasper. We'll have to plan another time there.
Yeah, but we have a great time coming up soon.
We do have a great time coming up in November.
Yes.
We have my birthday.
Yeah. So you
And
say
we're
it's your
gonna be-
birthday.
It's my birthday. It's gonna be a
I'm
birthday
excited about that.
Partying with our favorite zombie.
I know.
That's right.
We're
Who
bringing
else
our
gets to do
zombie.
that? Not many people
No.
get to do that.
Who else gets to do that for their birthday? And we're gonna bring Ginger along. Ginger's gonna
Okay.
be there. But in November, we are going to be back at the Poly Jail in Union Springs. And we have invited our favorite zombie, Sonya, to be with us to investigate. And we're going completely primitive, except for I do have a smokeless fire pit. So we're going to have s'mores.
Yay.
And we're
Awesome.
going to have, we're going to be meeting at our favorite barbecue place earlier that day at the John
Nice.
T. Hall building.
Sonya, you're gonna love that place. The food.
Live
Okay.
music, it's fabulous. And it was
Fun.
the old general store
Okay.
in Cecil, Alabama.
It's kind of
Okay.
active too.
It
Oh,
is, and it's wonderful. It's and the food's fabulous. So we're gonna eat there and grab food, and we're going on another primitive investigation. No electricity, no heat, all the way. We just got a place to lay our heads and a place to go pee. That's all we need.
Hey, that sounds like a fun time. So
Yeah.
I actually have a hiking blow up mattress I'm going to carry because it sleeps
Yep.
really well. So when I do
And
get to sleep,
we have the bunks that we can, if you want to bring a heavy mat or something for a bunk, we got the bunks we can sleep on too.
okay.
Yeah, we got plenty of places to sleep.
We got room everywhere.
Mhm. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be
It
lots
is. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah, and we've got the sheriff's department is always doing surveillance over us, so we've constantly got somebody
Protection.
watching us. Yeah,
That's good.
Sheriff Buck
But
is absolutely fabulous. So
they're not going to come in though and protect us from the spirits, right? So
No.
okay,
No,
I got you girls for that.
yeah, Sheriff Buck. None of his deputies will enter this jail.
They won't come in.
And he looked at me one day and he said, "Now, Miss Crystal," he said, "I don't do the dead. I ain't going in that jail." He said, I don't go in that jail. My men don't go in that jail. But I tell you what, you take care of the dead and I'll take care of the living. I said, and you've got a deal.
That's awesome.
He's funny.
So, yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about, or a lot about, we got a lot to cover. So we know your background, how you got started acting and in that, but you tell everybody how you started, how you became the zombie that everyone calls up saying, teach us how to be a zombie.
Well, I mean, the whole zombie thing is kind of crazy because I've been in the film and TV industry since 2007, and I'd started working with some independent movies, on several indies here in the Atlanta area, and one of the production companies was looking for zombies and asked me if I'd be a zombie in their movie, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be fun, and I caught up a couple of my friends, and so my friend Melissa and her husband, they came with, and it wasn't a paying gig or anything. It just sounded like fun to go do, and so I did that, and had a lot of fun that night. We were filming at a church, and I think I almost ran over by a car that night in the zombie makeup, so that would have been kind of difficult. So the blood that I did have from that kind of blended in, but it was still a lot of fun.
That would have been hard to explain.
Yeah. So it was just like, okay, this is real blood and this is sticky blood.
Is she alive? Is she not alive?
So they had used Caro syrup in the fake blood, so everything was just like stuck together. I mean, everything is just like, yeah. I mean, I felt like I had a uniboob or something, but anyway, I was just like, gotta pry apart at the end of the night, but it was funny. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time. And then so I wrote the casting company that I had been working with, and I think I told them, I said, listen, if you ever get any zombie roles, I just play a zombie and stuff. And I sent them some pictures of me made up as a zombie. And it was like that next year, I got an audition for Zombieland.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went for this audition. I got my daughter. My daughter was in theater and stuff and musicals and things like that. And I said, honey, you got to help me with this audition. And so she helped me to help develop my zombie and stuff like that. And I watched like 28 Days Later and all these zombie movies and just was trying to kind of get the vibe going. And so I went in for my audition. There was all these dancers and they're all like doing the stretching and all this. They assumed I was a dancer too, and which I was back in the day. I was a break dancer.
I was about to say you were, though. You did do the dancing.
I did, and sometimes now it doesn't pay off, but that's another story.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at another time.
But
boots with the bird. I mean,
so I went into this audition, and the director completely loved it, and so I ended up getting the role of the lunchroom lady, and that was a role that was supposed to be reoccurring. But when I actually did the show, when they actually came out with Zombieland, my scene had actually been cut from the original theatrical release, but it did make it to the DVD, and also some behind the scenes stuff made it to the DVD. They had called before it even started filming, they called myself and 3 others in, and they had us we developed a Zombieland training video that all the zombie actors in the movie had to watch to know how to move, the movements and all this kind of stuff. So that was really neat to be a part of that. And part of that made it to the behind the scenes of Zombieland, along with a picture of me that was very grotesque. But when they show my picture, they mention mad cow disease and syphilis. So I always laugh about that. It's kind of like my ongoing joke is, how many people do you know that can be that have been compared to syphilis and mad cow disease all in one sentence? And so the next year, then the same casting company had me. They sent me an email, and they had already submitted me for The Walking Dead, and I really didn't know what The Walking Dead was. But but started looking up some stuff and found out that it was based on a graphic novel or comic books.
Mhm.
And so, I started reading a few of those to try to get a good feel for what I needed to do for that, because it was a totally different zombie than what, Zombieland zombies were.
Definitely.
And yeah, so it was more, everything was different. So that's how that got started. But then on The Walking Dead, they did like a zombie school, and that's how they chose their 20 main zombies. What they called us were hero zombies for the year. And then out of that 20, they chose 8 of us to, might have been 9, but anyway, chose us to be promotional models for the show. And that's what ended me on the cover of Entertainment Weekly and about 10 magazine covers worldwide, not just nationwide. I'm actually one of the most seen zombies in the world, but I say one of because I am not by any means the most seen zombie in the world. I was used a lot overseas and even over here in the United States on t-shirts and different things. But I can say I am one of the most seen in the world for promotion of The Walking Dead.
You
So
really are. And and I think that, most people, because we've talked about this and how in The Walking Dead, the zombies evolved. They went to being able to move really fast.
yeah,
And I mean that, watching like the episode, the plot episode, the pilot episode, um, they moved really fast. They could climb ladders. They could do all these things. Um, and then they became really slow, and they walked really slow. And I'm like, okay, you can definitely, for somebody who's watched from the beginning the way that I have, and then watching until, my world came apart and it ended. The that was like a devastating moment for me. I
a
was
lot of
like,
people.
even though we still had Daryl, we still had Rick and Michonne, we still had Steve, Negan and Maggie, we still had these spin-offs, but it just, an era ended. And
Yeah.
for many of us who started out with Walking Dead, and this was before we could watch multiple on the same day, like we had to be there waiting for it to come on every Sunday,
Yep.
So just to see it evolve into what it did, it was absolutely amazing. But going back, the zombies, even from Zombieland, like you said earlier, to The Walking Dead, Day of the Dead, multiple different ones. Every zombie has a different way that they move. Their mannerisms are somewhat similar, but a lot of them have different characteristics. So it's pretty neat to also see through the film is how the zombies have evolved, and you were part of that.
Yeah. And when somebody called me the OG last year, after it ended and everything, they said, "You're one of the OGs," and I'm like, "What's OG mean?" And they're like, "Original." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I was original."
I'm with you now.
Hey,
Yeah.
I Googled OG. I didn't know what it was.
I had no idea. I mean, I don't know a lot of these little, I don't know. I don't know some of these shortened little things. And I mean, I took shorthand back in the day, but that's totally different than what they do now.
That's changed a lot. I don't understand half of what my daughter says half the time. I'm like, okay, cool.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I don't understand my granddaughter sometimes, but that's only because she's Dutch. So
well, yeah, because she's got a different she's a different dialect as well. So yeah. So I mean that's understandable. But she's very smart. So, I feel like she's going to grow up to be like such a smart person that you're not going to understand because she's just so smart.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was trying to teach me Dutch. She goes, "Oh my God, yeah, you really need to learn Dutch." She's 4. And so I'm like, "Okay, well, let's start with numbers." And she's, trying to teach me numbers. And she goes, good, good, and then I'd say something. She goes, nay. And I would do it again. She goes, nay. And she's laughing at me. And I'm going, I'm never going to get this. And she thinks it's so funny, that I can't say these
the
words.
Sweetest. She is just she's so adorable.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you got to spend time with her last year and this year.
Yes.
So, taking a break from all the other things that you had going on and getting to spend time with your family.
Yes.
Because she's so sweet. Yeah. So you've not just been a zombie.
No.
So you've done multiple different roles. You have actually been with one of my favorite actors in a movie, and I love Danny. I love him. He is like,
Were we talking about him last night?
Yeah, we were.
Really?
We were talking about him last night on a podcast as well. And so you've been a detective. Am I right? A detective.
Yes.
You have, what are some other ones that I'm trying to think off the top of my head now.
Gosh, I've done detective. I've been like a professor.
Yep.
I've played grandmother roles. I've played mama roles. I played a Meemaw in a movie called Killed on Arrival. KOA, Killed on Arrival. And that was filmed up in Pennsylvania area. And that was pretty cool. They put a wig on me and did some wrinkles, different things on my face and stuff, and I was Meemaw. And you don't mess with Meemaw.
That's
So
awesome.
somebody messed with Meemaw, and it didn't fare too well for them. But that movie still hasn't came out yet. I'm eager to watch that one because I think it's going to be a really cool one. It was just a little indie.
See that?
I played a photographer on the movie Bigfoot. And I was out in the woods taking pictures of wolves with my honey bun and my partner, and he and I didn't fare too well against Bigfoot. And
not so many people do.
Yeah. I was a librarian in the movie All Hallows Evil, Lord of the Harvest, and also the foster mother to a witch on that movie. And she found a spell book up in the attic. I had made her go up there and clean the attic out, and she found a spell book, and only she could read the spell book. I looked at the spell book, and the pages were empty. So she could see words and spells, and so she talked me into going into the woods and doing a ceremony, and that's all I'll say about that one. But anyway, I was not very nice to her, so I guess you get what you ask for. Then I played a retired military person in a movie called Lawa, All Saints Eve. That filmed up in Tennessee, in the Nashville area, and also Reelfoot Lake. And I had a co-starring role in that. I actually filmed up there for like 3 months. So in that movie, my husband and I were going on a it was like a ghost swamp tour, and a lot of stuff happened on it, and I got to do a lot of cool stunts on that movie. And at one point, this tree wolf was pulling us across the woods in the field, and I had my gun out, and I'm like shooting and all sorts of fun stuff.
What was that one called?
Lawa, LWA, All Saints Eve, and you can get it on Amazon, I think, or used to. So it's a pretty good. I think it's pretty good.
I've seen a lot of yours, but that one I have not.
Yeah, we had to go back in and do ADR on that one because it was some of the audio was just messing up on it, so we had to go back in. ADR's audio, you just have to redo your audio and stuff. So that kind of takes away from some of the momentum that you have when you're actually on set. And but that was a cool movie to work on. We filmed on right next door to Louise Mandrell's property.
Yep.
And so Louise allowed us to use her home for base camp. So that was where we stayed. That's where our wardrobe, hair, and makeup was done. I took a nap on her couch one night. Her granddaughter is just the sweetest thing, and played with her one day, and it was fun sitting at the table talking to Louise, and just she is just such a lovely woman, very humble, and just a beautiful person. She really is. But that was a neat movie to work on, and the one with Danny Trejo, that's called The Lost Day. The working title was Chronology. And originally that movie was set up as two separate movies.
Mm-hmm.
And one was from the perspective of this one guy, and the other was perspective from the other guy. What happened? It was almost kind of like a Freaky Friday type thing where something happened and they switched places.
Switch places, yeah.
But one was in the past and one was in the future. And there was this one doctor that was in it, and he was that was John James, and he was actually he played Jeff Colby on the original Dynasty, which I used to have his poster in my locker and everything because I thought he was really hot. But anyway, he was actually my favorite person to talk to on the set and everything. I mean, he was really neat. I enjoyed talking to Billy Baldwin. I was on set a couple nights when he was there. You know, we got to eat together, all that. We were, so that was really cool watching him work. Danny Trejo, he was really awesome. Danny's really laid back, and I got to talk to him for a little bit, and and he told me a story of how he, and I'm sure he gets asked that question so many times, but he was just very godly and just a very awesome and amazing person to be in the presence of. He really was.
He,
cool.
He's so humble, and Danny is he's one of my favorites. He truly is one of my favorite actors. And he can play any role. He can do comedy. He can do drama. He can do serial killer, like anything. He can do it. I mean, he's been on Sons of Anarchy, I mean, I love Danny.
He's just a really great guy. I really enjoyed talking to him, and and I think if I would ever see him again, he would probably remember me, but I had to remind him probably because we meet so many people. Sometimes it's hard to remember everybody.
Definitely.
There's the movie I worked on with Kevin Sorbo was called This Old Machine, and it actually filmed near my place, the majority of it. But my scene filmed 2 hours away.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, seriously, everything's filming just, 5, 10, 15. Yeah, it's just up the road.
Distance.
And you're going to have me drive all the way to White, Georgia to film my scene. And it was in a old rustic motel. And that was kind of crazy because I was having a sweep in there. I'm like, oh my God, here goes my allergies, but
it was walked away with was a sinus infection.
Exactly. I was just like, oh my God. But it was really cool working with, with the team for that and everything. And that was a neat movie to work on. I enjoyed it. The edits, I mean, you really had to stick with that movie to watch it. You really do. But that was a good one. There was another movie that hasn't came out yet. It's called Sick People, and that had C. Thomas Howell in it. And I worked with Kristen Dalton. My scene was with Kristen Dalton from Dead Zone.
Mm-hmm.
And she's such a really nice lady. But I had several scenes with her actually. And I was in another motel room, and this time I'm underneath a motel bed, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm under here, But it was it was interesting. They had me. They were not getting the reaction from her that they wanted, so they pulled me aside and they said, "Hey, we want you to actually grab her ankles, and come out from under." I was already grabbing her ankles out from underneath the bed, but they wanted me to come out from underneath the bed like I was coming to get her. And Lord have mercy, that woman, she was so scared. She was not expecting it.
I know. I forget what movie it is that I watched. It's been forever ago, but it was something about dead people under beds in hotels. And now, ever since then, I'm always kind of like, I wonder, should we check under there?
I'd love to see the movie. I still haven't seen that one either. It's like there's some movies that they went to a few film festivals, was going to get a distribution deal, and then all of a sudden they still haven't ever came out.
And that's it. It's really, really hard, especially over the last few years. The film industry, even independents have been having a hard time. And it's just, it's a rough world out there. So, and it is. And honestly, people don't really in the entertainment, because I've never been in the acting role. It's never, but I was on stage from the time I was 4 years old. So, I was entertaining and, my own route with my music. But it's a dog eat dog world out there. It really is.
It is. And I was in a gospel music group in my 20s, and even gospel music is, it's kind of competitive in so many ways.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And so that's, it's tough.
Different. It sure is. I mean, when it is one of those for sure, dog eat dog world out there. Yeah, so tell everyone what your creations, your artistic talents, and this is actually something that you take to conventions and events, and you sell your artistic creations. I feel like I've got an echo somewhere.
I was feeling that as well.
I was going to say that just a little while ago. I didn't butt in.
Yeah, I felt that. I thought I was hearing myself twice. That's the reason I was like, kind of stuttering a little bit.
I just stutter.
I stutter sometimes. Well, I do. I mean, I've been an artist since I was a kid. But I didn't start these zombie dolls until like last year. And so I've painted over 58 zombie dolls, porcelain dolls. And then I've done over 50 zombie on the shelf.
Elf on the shelves.
I got
the very first Elf on the Shelf redhead ginger zombie.
You sure did. You got the very first one of those.
And I got trouble for touching it.
Yes, you did.
Mason yelled at me.
Mason yelled at her, "You can't touch it. You can't touch that."
Well, I mean, they're really cool. They really are. I have sold so many of these, and they're really neat. Zombie elf on the shelves. And most recently, I found this Alice.
Oh, that's cool.
She moves. Her legs move. She can kick people. She can walk like Frankenstein.
Anyone that knows me, I don't do dolls. Like, I don't like dolls, but I love my Elf on the Shelf.
I like her though.
And I like her. I could probably add her to my collection.
Yeah, I think she's pretty cool. I mean, she's got her little, she can do her arm out. I mean, she was holding, the elf earlier.
Yeah, she was doing more than holding the elf.
Yeah, but he was being a little.
Yeah. So
he was being a little touchy.
They get in trouble. They really do. But yeah, so I do those. And each what's unique about my porcelain dolls is that each one is numbered and signed by me. And so, you get a thank you card with them. You get a free autograph photo of me, all that. So for like $75, you get all that with free shipping to the United States, not to international, because it costs so much to ship.
It is so. Yes,
paying a buck to get anything through customs and all that.
Yeah, and if you do,
and I don't know if the zombie dolls would make it through customs.
I don't know, because a lot of things don't make it through customs anymore.
Yeah,
it is insane.
So, and then the zombie elves are $25, and that's with free shipping in the United States. It's in the beginning I was charging a little bit less, but then I got kind of burned on the shipping a little bit. I was like, oh man, why did I do it for that price? So I upped it to $25 with the shipping.
And shipping's going up again.
Yeah, I mean, and I may have to. I hate to keep going up on stuff, but it's like
I mean, the cost of living's going high. It just gonna keep going up. So I mean, people gonna have to understand out there that y'all suffering, we're all suffering, and we can't go into our profit to be able to help you get things. Like I wish we could. I wish I could give everybody something, but that ain't the way the world goes. And if we got to go up because pirate ship is the cheapest and pirate ship is still going up. Like we got a notification couple days ago, pirate ship is going up again.
Yeah, I saw that too because I use pirate ship as well. But yeah, I do a lot of different types of art. I've got I'm gonna see stuff, like here's a woodpecker that I did on Old Farm.
I like it. Yeah, you had a lot of stuff at the in Ozark.
Yeah. So I was painting some stuff down there when I was sitting there because I couldn't do much more. But anyway,
there he did. I took my green screen off.
Oh, now you can see him.
There's my ginger. That's why you couldn't see him, guys, because he's green. But he's been on investigations with us. He's traveled with us.
He's gotten me in trouble.
He's gotten Carol in trouble. Mason does not like him to be touched.
I touched him. I almost went to hell for it.
Yeah. Like he said, Nunya, don't touch it. Touch it, Nunya.
Oh my gosh.
Carol Nunya.
We call each other Nunya.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he almost had himself a conniption fit when he touched it. Like
you gotta watch it today. These elves, man. I'm gonna tell you what. So I took some of the Days of the Dead earlier this year, and there's this one that was misbehaving so much I had to separate him from the others. And he was grabbing his crotch. He was just doing some bad stuff, and he was a bad influence. So I literally had to move him, and every day I'd come in, he was like hanging upside down one day. He was doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and I had a hard time controlling. But this one little boy, when he was trying to decide which one he wanted, I said, "Do you want the good elf or the bad elf?" And he says, "Well, the bad one, of course." So he wanted the one that was misbehaving, so that's the one he took. So I was like, all right.
He's pretty good. I mean, I yell at my ginger on the GPS all the time, and that's how he got his name. And he's good though. We don't have any problems. He just
good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad he's behaving for you. Except for when Carol's around.
Yeah. He's always yelling, touch me,
That's
touch
always
me.
Carol's fault. That's everything. When something happens and Carol's around, then just know it was Carol's idea. Carol's fault. We'll just go ahead and blame the Nunya. So,
no troublemaker.
Yeah,
that's right.
Definitely. So, what do you have coming up the rest of the year?
I just got through filming on a NBC Peacock promo video thing that'll be coming out in September, but I can't really talk about it right now. Still, I signed the NDA. So as soon as that's released, then I can, release that and show that and tell everybody what I did for them.
That's going to be cool.
But it's for a new series that's coming out in October. And
awesome.
So that was a really good experience working with NBC and Peacock.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was working with an Emmy Award-winning director, and it was just a great team of It was a great production team from LA that I hope to get to work with again sometime. So fingers crossed on that.
Awesome.
I've had a few auditions and stuff. I've not really done a lot. I mean, I've been in front of the casting agents a good bit, but I'm at that stage now where I'm 54 and I don't look 54. So they want people up to about the age of like 40, you know, or they want people from 55 to 70. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm in that range where I don't really.
Not much longer. And we're really good. Like, I mean, look at Carol's hair, she's going to be 55 this year, Carol.
54.
54.
You're going to be 54 this year, so you and I are basically the same age then. I was saying.
And that's her natural color right there. That
Okay.
hair that's her natural. I mean, people want to ask her where she gets her hair done at, where she gets her box dye from, or whatever. She's like, it's natural.
It's great.
So I mean, we could
quit dyeing it.
bump you up to 55 and like.
But that's the thing. I don't look 55 though.
No.
So that's the problem is, I don't look that age. So I'm caught in that mid in between everything. So I'm too old to play that 40-year-old. I look too old to play the 40-year-old, but I'm too young to play the 55-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Crystal's got a plan.
Uh-oh.
No. So, we're getting ready to head into pre-production and filming in the beginning of the year. And we're going to be doing documentaries and stuff. And I looked at Carol. I was like, we really need someone to play a body double for you. And I looked at her and I was like, I think Sonya would make a really good.
Sweet. There you go.
Because
like
you guys are the
same
same size. I mean,
For
I
little
can totally do it, Carol. Totally do it. I got you. I've actually
like Sonya could be your body. Now I got mine. I mean, she's in the room back there. I got my body double. Like she's identical to what I was when I was that age. And so I told Carol, I was like, Sonya could be your body double. We got
There we
you.
go. I got it. And I've actually produced and directed a documentary before. So
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
good stuff.
it was on Desert Storm, and we had a deal on it to distribute it, but ended up not being a good one for us. And so we backed out of that one. Then there was another thing. I mean, we've tried every time we think we got it, then it's not going anywhere. And we wanted to use it to raise money for Wounded Warrior and some other the vet programs and stuff. And it's going on like 8 years or something now or more, and we still haven't got, maybe not even that far. But anyway, we've had it done and ready. We just can't seem. COVID really messed up a lot of stuff.
It did.
So that messed up a lot of it. And there was this one company, I think it was PBS or something, that we submitted to, or Amazon, and they told us they wasn't doing documentaries anymore, accepting anymore.
Yeah, I saw that because I think we looked at that a while back.
Yeah, we did.
Amazon wasn't doing it anymore. I was like, well, damn.
Yeah.
And and there's one, somebody told me
you
about
really
this one.
Can't pitch anything to anyone anymore. Like, it's a lot of the places have prevented people from giving, ideas and pitching to, I think pre-COVID, you could still pitch to like Lifetime Movie Network. You could still pitch to Hallmark. They don't allow those anymore.
They want you to have an agent because I think some of what was happening, because the guy that I worked with on Lava All Saints Eve, his girlfriend worked for CW, and she would tell me that sometimes she would entertain certain independents, and they would come in and they had filmed everything with their cell phones, or it was like a waste of their time.
Yeah.
So I think because of some of these people that did things maybe the wrong way, or went about things the wrong way, kind of messed it up for the rest of us that are doing it the right way.
That's right. And that's, and that's definitely has a lot to do with it, because like we had a meeting this past weekend with Sean Daniel, who will be, he's Suncoast Films down there in the comments. He's also Suncoast Paranormal. We work great with him. He's absolutely fabulous. He knows what we like, and it's just wonderful. And maybe it's him that's causing an echo. All right. Nope, wasn't him. And so, and it's very difficult because you have to find someone that you work well with, especially in the paranormal community. You need someone that understands how you work and understands the style, the niche that we're trying to stick with. And so we're really lucky and blessed to have Sean going along with us on this. So cool. It's definitely great. But yeah, we're probably gonna need a body double. So we'll call you up. We'll add that into our Indiegogo.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll have to update our Indiegogo price and add Sonya in there as body double.
Back in the day, hopping on the bar and dancing. Yeah, I can't do that anymore.
We just we'll make sure the boots in the first song doesn't come on.
Thank you, because that really got me in trouble. Every time I hear that now, I'm like, oh, I can't listen to this. This is dangerous for me.
That was, in all honesty, though, we were all worried about you for months because that really took you down.
It did, and it, my calf on that side is still not strong as the left side. I mean, I still have a few little cramps and stuff in there, but I think it was maybe a stress fracture. But it wasn't broken.
Yeah,
it was just it could have even just been deeply bruised too. I think it was probably
it all hurts.
bruised.
Anything
hurts.
Yeah.
I'd have been there. We were going to go that night that you were injured. And Ozark just isn't a place for people to be dancing.
Well, it was. I had a good time, but then when I felt it, I was like, okay, I got to go.
Party's over.
Party's over.
Yep. I immediately went down and tightened my shoelaces up so it put the pressure on a little bit, and I was feeling it swell up, and I started telling everybody immediately, I've got to go as soon as I get through this next song. I'm out of here. And then they were like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I hurt my foot. I told you.
I'm gone.
I've got to go.
I'm out."
Yes.
And good thing that the hotel wasn't too far away either. So
no, it wasn't. But when I got back, I had to park a bit, and it took me forever to get to the lobby. And then I got Latrina. I got Lee to go get my vehicle and bring it to this parking space that opened up. Right as I got to the front door, I'm like, great, yeah, now it opens up. And so she brought that up for me, and Brandon, he did some shaman healing on it, and everybody was checking my foot out, making sure that I didn't need to go to the hospital. I was calling Miranda. I'm like, Miranda, this just happened. Do I need to take you to the hospital? I'm like, no, they said I don't need to go to the hospital.
Well, that's a good thing, because you know what we call the hospital in Ozark?
What?
Death Medical Center.
Death Medical Center. Oh Lord.
Well,
I worked there for 5 years, so I can legally say that.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell you, even if they told me I need to go to the hospital, I probably would not have went, because it's just, hospitals are just not my friend. I don't trust anybody in the medical community right now.
Me either.
I left the medical community and I will never go back.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody wants to take you seriously. They want to send you on your way, even though there's something wrong. And then they,
even though everything can show that there's something wrong, your symptoms show, your labs show, everything show, but you're not sick enough. And I just had this fight with a doctor a couple weeks ago, and I said, so basically you're telling me that you're not going to see me anymore because I am sick but not sick enough.
Yeah.
And you advocate for yourself and they call you crazy.
Yeah. They say you're a problem and all this kind of stuff, and it's just I don't, we have mediocre, anyway, I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of it. I'm just going to say that there's just been, I would just give one example. Like, my brother has a mentally disabled roommate, and he went into I'm going to call him out, the Athens Piedmont Hospital in Athens, Georgia, and they ended up having to go in and he had 3 stents put in, and he had like a 99% blockage in one of his arteries and stuff, and they put him in ICU afterwards, and my brother had already told them, he's mentally disabled, and it's even in his records, and he can get violent. He's got high anxiety. He doesn't do well in hospitals, so you guys need to keep this in mind. And well, my brother gets a phone call. He's in ICU. They say he's not out of the woods yet, and his roommate calls him and says, "You need to come get me." And he says, "No, you need to stay in there, because they say you need to be in there. They've got to monitor. You're not out of the woods yet." He goes, "Well, I'm going to walk." And he says, "Well, no." He says, "Just stay put." Well, he gets out the phone with him, calls the nurse, and the nurse tells him, "Well, Security was called. He wanted to check himself out. We let him check himself out. They escorted him to the door. He took a swing at it. And he says, okay, so you just let a mentally disabled person that can't even read or write sign themselves out and escorted them to the door with security, and you didn't follow mental health protocol.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't know he was mentally disabled, they said. And
Oh, of course not.
so my brother, 11 o'clock at night, is driving 30 minutes down the road and finds him about 7 miles from the hospital walking on the side of the road. So, that's just an example of what
That's just and unfortunately that's the world that we live in today. And I left the medical field. I worked emergency department, and I won't ever go back. I completely understand. You could not pay me enough. The world we need better in the US. We need a lot better than what we're getting.
And I would love to set up if I had the money, I would set up a hospital. It would be a holistic medical center. So you would have one half of the hospital that would have chiropractors, acupuncturists, massage therapists, nutritionists, whole naturopaths. But on the other side of the hospital, you would also have regular medical doctors that actually listen and, that have been in the business, that are not newly out of school unless they're on board with old practices. But new
modern functional medicine.
Yes. So basically you would have everybody working together, and you would even have physical therapists there too. I mean, but you would have everybody in one place working together. And also I would also have like in the jail systems, I would have mental facilities and drug rehab facilities that are connected to the jails, instead of having these people sitting in there not getting the help they need and then being released and coming back and forth and stuff. I think that having a way of helping these people detox and get better and then go be reintroduced to society is the way to go. And so there's a lot of programs that I would like to do and have done, and incorporate.
Because there's many of us out there that we also have struggled, and we struggle to find help. We struggle to find someone who's going to listen. And then on the same hand, we're life coaches. We're Reiki healers, shamanic healers. I mean, there's so many of us out there, and just because we are a healer or we are a life coach, we still need help too. We're not perfect.
But we take on so much, I'm an empath as well, and a healer. And so we take on so much of everybody else's, even though we block it off, we shake it off, we, get in the medicine wheel and ask God and Mother Earth to take it away, we still carry people's stuff with us.
We do. It always leaves an impression on us. I make it, when I say this, I say it, we all have a distinct fingerprint. We all have a fingerprint. And when we're touched by someone like that, that fingerprint is on us forever, and maybe not their DNA, but their fingerprint is imprinted on us.
Yeah.
It leaves a mark, and, it's always a learning experience as well. But, we as well need someone that's going to listen and be able to help us. And, we fake it till we make it most of the time, but it's still, we're not immune to the hardships.
Yeah. And we also, when you say we need somebody to listen to us and stuff too, having a professional do that, I have found has helped me more. I go to a psychotherapist, and I've been with her, it'll be 7 years next year. But you find the right one that will actually listen and give the right advice. That's problematic a lot of times, not finding the right person. And I'm not ashamed to say that I go to somebody, because that has helped me tremendously, with especially 2 years ago losing my dad, my best friend, and Larry. You
Yep.
know, I lost him, and I lost my step aunt. That I lost a lot of people that year, and so it was very helpful having somebody to talk to that was not in the family and not a friend.
Exactly. Someone that you could just open up, talk to. And that's, I think, the hardest part has been for me, especially the move since 2022, is finding my person again.
Yeah.
Finding my person, because, as a military spouse, I don't get that option. It's like, okay, we're moving again,
Well, that's the
They're
good thing
not-
about virtual, Zoom calls
Yeah,
and stuff
like
like that.
doc and
yeah.
the telemedicine. I still have just not found my person. I
Yeah.
haven't found my person since we
Well-
left Maryland.
Well, I will tell you this, that mine, she's certified in several states.
Mhm.
And she's wonderful. She used to be in the paranormal at one point.
Oh,
She
really?
was an investigator, yeah. And she's really awesome. So if you want that information, let me know, because
Oh,
she does
yeah,
all
I
her
may have
meetings
to
on
get
Zoom.
that information.
Yeah. She
Because I
does
mean,
all that. Yeah,
I
she
love-
does it all on virtual, so, and she was doing it before COVID and that way. And well, when I first started going to it, it was in person, but then she, found that doing it, in her home office was better. And so it was different. It was a little bit of a change to do it that way, but actually it's better, because then you're in the comfort of your own home, or you can go somewhere else and do it where nobody's around listening, or
Yeah.
you feel
Well,
like
I
you
feel
can
like
use your-
people are more likely to show up for something like that
Yeah.
than to actually get out of their home,
Yeah.
Mhm.
drive somewhere. Because I'm the world's
Carol
worst.
ain't gonna go nowhere. I'll tell you right now.
I
Oh,
don't go
like,
nowhere.
I gotta go somewhere. You mean I have to actually go somewhere? I'm like, get up and leave the house.
I'm like, I don't
I
want to
don't
leave.
wanna.
I have to make myself sometimes. I mean, I know you guys see me go and do this and do that. There was a time I was a lot more active than I am now.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
pretty much leave the house when we have something to do. Other than
Yeah.
that, I don't leave the house.
And one thing that I have learned, because I do have a traumatic brain injury and I do have PTSD. I lost the function of my left hand for many years. Being left-handed, that was a very difficult challenge. But one thing that I have learned over the years is it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay
Exactly.
to be able to say that you're not okay. And
Mhm.
another thing is that you don't have to do something. You can do something by taking a piece of paper off of the desk that's been sitting there for 3 months and throwing it away. That is the only thing that you have to do, but do something that small. You've accomplished something that day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have to go and wash your hair. Because I can tell you right now, y'all, let me tell you, last night I washed my hair. That was dry shampoo, lifted straight up. It has been a hell of a week. And I can tell you, I don't like. There are days where I don't feel like brushing my hair. I don't feel like getting, but it's okay, because
Yeah.
guess what? Tomorrow's another day and we're starting over. And if I feel
Mhm.
like it, then I do. If I feel like getting up and getting out of, I got pajamas on now, y'all ain't even gonna lie. This
Oh,
right
gosh,
here,
I live in pajamas.
soul sister shirt, but on the bottom, that's Christmas pajamas.
All right.
And
Well, you're
that's
elf.
the world. Exactly. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay
Mhm.
I'm able to say I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
We don't have to be constant, no makeup on, y'all. See, no makeup. I'm clear. All good. And usually that's the first thing I tell everybody. I didn't put makeup on or not. Let me go change my appearance.
I
Because
don't
that's
do that
one
crap.
that's one of the hardest parts for me, is to not have my face on.
Yeah. I didn't put
Um,
on anything.
I
And
never
putting
do.
my face on is kind of difficult, I mean,
Yeah. Your makeup takes a long time.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
That's
I
a
told
shower
her to.
curtain. That's a shower
Oh, is
curtain.
it? Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shower curtain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I told her once you get older, makeup's not that much of a big deal anymore.
So do
It's
you
not.
have one of those shower curtains in your bathroom? Can I ask
No,
that?
I just put it on the wall back here because I was like, that'd be a great backdrop for when I do interviews and stuff.
It's
So
wonderful. I'm
And-
just wondering, how weird it would be, like in there taking a shower and your zombie husband Larry's on one side, and then there's your face, and it's like, whoa, this is weird.
Well, Larry used to joke with people, because when the shower curtains came out and everything, and they sold out very quickly apparently, because he got one, I got one, a few other people got one, and then all of a sudden they were no more. But he would make a joke. Yeah, you guys can take a shower, because we would hang it behind us at shows because we thought it was really cool. And he's like, yeah, you can have your own shower curtain, and you can take a shower with Sonya and I every day. And I'm like,
It's fabulous.
okay,
Party in the bathroom.
Bum bath.
So anyway, it's just it's like when people have tattoos of me on them, I'm like, I get to go to bed with you and your wife every night. That's nice.
I'll be with
you can also take a shower with us every day.
With you for life.
Have some legs.
My face might droop soon, but that's okay.
Yep. It's crazy though. When people started getting tattoos of me, like when I found out that people had tattoos of me on them, it was just like, whoa.
That's pretty cool.
That's
though.
weird.
It's so weird, but it's cool,
like,
man.
For us, it's super cool. And you're probably like, you've got my face on you forever.
I know. It's just like, whoa. This one tattoo artist offered he wanted to do a tattoo on me, and but he wanted to do it of me.
Mm-hmm.
And that I just couldn't do it. At first I said yes, and then I was like, no, I can't have me tattooed on me. That's just weird. So it would have been my zombie me, but
Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And it just felt weird for me to wear
you never know,
vain
like,
or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All of my tattoos tell a story. Every one that I've gotten is there's a reason why I get it.
Well, some of my tattoos, you can't tell what story they tell anymore.
and then that happens.
Yeah.
I think weren't we doing that at the Fairbanks house? We were all talking about our tattoos and our tramp stamps and all this other. We were like showing them off, like, oh yeah, I've got one of those during an investigation, like.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 little tattoos and that's it. So
I got a couple that are like over 30 years old, so they're a little like,
oh, honey,
what did that used to be?
He's got some that are over 30 years old. We're not even going to talk about those.
Yeah, I didn't get mine until I was 30. My first one until I was 32. That was my birthday gift to me because I figured I'd always said I was waiting until I was 32 before I got one. If I still wanted one then I'd get one. So I did, and it was in honor of my grandfather that served in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He was the 7th rank sergeant and served in Korea and Vietnam and all that. But anyway, and then when my daughter turned 18, she wanted to go get tattoos, so we went and got mother-daughter tattoos together. Now we didn't match or anything, but we still got tattoos
at the same time. See, it's a memory.
Yeah.
The first tattoo I got, Carol got hers first, and then I got mine, and it's a horseshoe with a halo and angel wings on either side, and it's got Virginia's name in the wings. And then my other favorite one is then my freedom feather. I got that 4 months after my car. 6 months after my car accident.
Okay.
So yeah, all of mine tell a story.
Oh, it's about to get loud in here, y'all.
She's got storms rolling in.
Yeah, but it's raining now. You'll be hearing it in a minute. I'm in my sunroom.
It's been like the wind has been whistling here and stuff. I mean, I'm in Northeast Georgia, but we're still feeling the effects, from the tropical. Yeah. It's been downgraded to a tropical storm now.
We had hell.
Yeah, I was watching because we have property in Valdosta, and I'm watching, and I'm like, please stay away from our house.
It's in that area, man. They were talking about flooding and everything else.
Last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the other day we had hail here in Louisiana.
Wow.
I was like, what is that noise? And then, of course, the thunder and the lightning were like the worst I've ever heard in my life, actually. And I was like, holy crap. And then all you hear is bam, 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 bam. I'm like, is it hailing? It was a crazy day. I was like, that's the second time, or it's either the second or third time we've had hail here in Louisiana since I've been here anyway. I was like, this is kind of
weird. 2 times this year. 2 times
this year.
That's crazy. Well, when when they have thunderstorms and stuff up there in Huntsville, where Miranda and Krista's jail is at, they have more activity.
Yeah, the poly gel's the same way.
Okay.
Like the walls were sweating in December, like just sweating. And it was, we knew then like we wouldn't be able to sleep in there because we would wake up with pneumonia. It was December. So it was cold already. And it was stormy. That's why we're like, oh, well, we'll give them a break in December this year. We'll just go instead of, December 9th, we'll go in November instead.
Hey, that works. That works.
So, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. So we'll have us a good old time and have some food and just everybody beware. We're gonna have us a blast.
Not these kind of spirits, but the other kind.
The other kind of spirits.
Well.
See, I ain't the only one that says it, y'all. I know my people are on here listening. So we had a shirt made because when I get bored during investigations, I just sit there and I'm like, well. And so Misty from Quest, she's like, you say well a lot. I said, I do. So we made a shirt that says well ... And then we were all so tired. They were like, oh, we should get a tattoo that says well with like, like a prison tat with like teardrops.
We were getting so crazy.
Oh my goodness. Well, we're not doing tattoos in November, are we?
No.
Okay.
We won't. We're not doing tattoos in Union Springs, Alabama. No.
If we get tattoos, they would have to be prison tattoos, and I don't think there's any at the poly jail.
Well, I mean, what we could do is get some of those, like a stamp or something other, that's just got numbers or something on it.
Yeah,
good.
We could do that on our arm.
Or we could get some barcodes.
Yeah, well, maybe a barcode or just something that has numbers on it. It's like the big numbers about yay big, so we're numbered as a prisoner number or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just break out the Sharpie.
We can do that too. But as white as I am, that'll stay for a while. So
yeah, me too.
Well, we could easily just Photoshop it. It's fine.
Okay.
We'll just all do this and then I'll Photoshop it on us.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
Well, we got it planned. Eyeliner.
Yeah. I got some 90% alcohol somewhere too that we.
Oh, I do too. I have some acetone.
Yeah, we'll get it off. You'll be fine. You might be a little red, but it'll be all right.
It might burn me or something.
I know. Then she's turning into a zombie. Her skin is falling off.
November may turn into a mini series.
It might. It's going to be interesting for sure. I'm excited about it, and I've been telling some people, I'm like, I'm going to go and stay in a jail all night down in Alabama.
And
I'm doing it.
This jail is one of the biggest in the area, and with it being so close to the Georgia line, I bet some of our old family members rolled through there. I know one of mine did, and I bet you.
Hey, there's a chance for it for sure. So
some kinfolk up in there.
I already found mine. He likes me to come in there and talk to him. Old JW.
That's
well, it has been fun. We appreciate you coming on, and we can't wait to see you in November.
No,
it's going to be a blast.
And I may be down in South Alabama in October as well. Can't announce anything yet. Trying to get some stuff confirmed, but might be down there in October. So
well, if
I am, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
definitely let me know.
Near our events too. Let us know. Give your name at the gate. Come on.
Yeah, we'll leave your name at the door, and you're welcome anytime. If you're around one of our events, come on. But it's leave my name at the door. Be like, Sonya, Zombie Rocks.
Well, I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Okay. Right. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's been great.
See you in November.
All right. See you then. All right.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.